Cell. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime. I'm most grateful that people are willing to go out there and take their time, their blood, and give me new life.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
In a rivalry that has had its share of pushing and shoving over the years, the latest showdown between the Yankees and Orioles got off to a heated start last night. Today, Luis Gil will try to harness some of that energy when the rookie gets the ball in an important outing with a lot on the line for the Bombers. Let's set the stage. It's the Yankees taking on the Orioles on a Saturday afternoon at Camden Yards in Maryland. Welcome to Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. I'm Chris Sheeran, and if this series between the top two teams in the American League East needed any extra juice, it got it last night when the benches cleared in the ninth inning. But there's a bigger picture at stake today for the Yankees. A win would give them the series, and it would move them into a tie atop the division. Now, let's get right to our key to the game, brought to you by our local Kia dealers, and it's a starting pitching matchup of two young, hard-throwing righties. The Orioles, Grayson Rodriguez is 11-3 with a .352 ERA. His four-seamer averages just over 96 miles an hour. And for the Yankees, it's Luis Gil, who is 9-5 with a .327 ERA and a heater that clocks in just under 97 miles an hour. Gil is coming off a tough luck loss against the Boston Red Sox on Sunday. He pitched into the seventh inning, didn't issue any walks for the first time this season, and he struck out 9, his most since May 29th. He got 15 swings and misses, his most in nearly a month, with 7 of them coming on a fastball that was zipping in at 97.7 miles an hour. His lone blemish came to the second-to-last batter he faced when Rafael Devers muscled a fastball just over the wall for a solo homer. Otherwise, he was brilliant. Despite his June swoon, Gil is still the hardest pitcher to hit in the game this year. His .168 average against is the lowest in the majors, leading a list of some pretty impressive names, by the way. One thing to watch, his slider was dialed in last start, and he threw about twice as many as he usually does. The Red Sox were 1 for 10 with 5 strikeouts against that pitch. On the other side, the Yankees have had 2 looks at Grayson Rodriguez in his career, and so far the 24-year-old has yet to allow a run to the Bombers. On April 29th, he picked up the win with 5.2 scoreless innings, though he did allow 5 hits and 3 walks while only striking out 3. And when he faced him last July, he fired 6 1/3 without allowing a run. DJ LeMahieu is the only Yankee with multiple hits against him, though Aaron Judge has a single and a couple of walks. Rodriguez has won each of his last 3 starts, and he's been much better at home than he's been on the road this season. He has a .227 ERA at Camden Yards, and it's more than double away from the ballpark. He's been harder to hit and has better control at home, but his strikeout percentage is about the same. With tempers and tensions rising in the ninth inning yesterday, the spotlight could be on Gil and Rodriguez. And our Toyota quote of the day, Aaron Boone addressed whether he thought there would be any carryover to today's game and whether there could be some warnings issued.
I hope not. I don't know. I think with the way they handle things like that now, where they get together anyway, anytime they judge intent, I wouldn't think that would be the case, but I haven't heard anything one way or the other.
With Luis Gil, what leads you to be encouraged after his last outing?
His last outing, I mean, that was much in line with what we saw the first couple months of the season. I think he found his delivery right away. He was in sync right away. I think that first inning he did a really good job of establishing his fastball, getting in the zone with it, having the right profile with it. It played, how it does when it's going well. His slider was his best secondary pitch that night, which isn't even when he was going well that first 2 months, it was fastball changeup. Slider was kind of that distant third pitch. The sliders, at least in practice and in that last game, was a much improved pitch for him. But it all comes down to delivery, establishing his fastball, getting to good places with it, and then he can work off of that with whatever secondary.
Let's say umpires don't issue any warnings today. When people have been hit on both sides, does that make a pitcher, especially a younger pitcher like Heel, you think at all hesitant to try to throw inside?
I don't think so. You can't get caught up in that. And I think Luis, does a really good job of just getting prepared for his start today, having the game plan and going out there and trying to execute that. And you can't get caught up in that, and I don't think he will.
Here's the Orioles lineup that Boone and the Yankees will face today. Heston Kjerstad was initially in the lineup after being hit in the head last night, but he was a late scratch, so Austin Hayes takes his spot. Gunnar Henderson leads off, and over his last 41 games, the All-Star's batting .321 with 10 homers, 24 runs batted in, an on-base percentage near 400, and a slugging percentage near 600. For the Yankees, Alex Verdugo moves back to the top spot. Juan Soto gets a day at DH, and Aaron Judge feels right at home at Camden Yards, doesn't he? Since 2017, he's a .318 hitter at the ballpark with 23 home runs, 45 runs batted in, and an OPS over 1,200, and he added to those numbers last night. It had been a rare 8 games without an extra base hit or an RBI for Judge, so the captain knocked out both skids with one swing of his bat. He demolished a curveball from starter Cade Povich way over the high wall in left field for his 41st homer against the Orioles since 2017. Judge worked walks in his other 4 trips to the plate, matching a career high by reaching base 5 times. And as Judge goes, so have the Yankees this season. In wins, he's batting .381, while in losses, it's under the Mendoza line of 200. 24 of his homers and 64 of his runs batted in have come in wins. Also, his 33 home runs overall this season are tied with Roger Maris and the 2022 version of himself as the most by a Yankee before the All-Star break. He has 2 more games to claim the record. Much more to come here on Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. Up next, Jeff Nelson joins the show to talk about what he saw from Garrett Cole in the first game of the series. Plus, we'll get Nelly's thoughts on what to expect from Luis Heel as the rookie tries to go into the break on a high note. And speaking of that break, we'll look ahead to the All-Star festivities in Texas. It's all ahead, so keep it locked in right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app. Yankees batting practice today is presented by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
There's a new side to Away, a side that's good looking and has all the features Away is known for. It's soft, not sensitive, but tougher than you might think. The wait is over.
Now arriving, soft side suitcases from Away.
That's Aaron Judge. Yeah. Sometimes you get the feeling you're watching a Hall of Famer right in the middle of his prime.
The captain is rolling.
They're going to need a longer tape measure.
A monster blast. See ya. Wow.
The finest premium arena club in the world comes alive in Brooklyn. Welcome to Crown Club, the Brooklyn Nets' most exclusive club in Barclays Center. Featuring a menu curated by Major Food Group with Carbone classics and a world-class wine list. To learn more about premium memberships at Barclays Center, visit brooklynnets.com/crown-club.
Streaming now on the Yes app.
22. In the 2003 postseason, you smashed a Tim Wakefield knuckleball. It took you 22 seconds to trot around the bases.
What was going through my head was soak this in.
Streaming now exclusively on the Yes app.
Here who are working on that research right now.
I hope they can keep going and keep doing the research and keep advancing all the treatments so that kids don't have to deal with this anymore.
At St. Jude, there was hope.
Hope changes everything.
Last night we saw a little tempers flaring between the Orioles and Yankees. How about this? Back on May 19th, 1998, Armando Benitez hits Tino Martinez, and they started playing the feud. Darryl Strawberry, we saw him run into the Baltimore Orioles dugout. Jeff Nelson ran out of the bullpen to help his squad out. And now Jeff joins us now. He was on the call last night with Michael Kay when all that happened in the ninth. First, let's start with that brawl back in 1998, Nelly. It wasn't really a brawl last night. The benches just cleared. But how much do you remember that? Can you close your eyes and see yourself still throwing that overhand right haymaker towards Armando Benitez?
Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't miss, but yeah, almost like yesterday, because that moment gets brought up every May 19th on some social media platform. So yeah, it was exciting. And actually, Tino and I were teammates in Seattle. Obviously, we came over to the Yankees in a trade, and that happened. That was the second time. The first time it happened here in Baltimore with Benitez. Edgar Martinez hit a home run. Tino Martinez was up next, exact same spot, hit him in the back, and we cleared then. And then that second time, Graham Lloyd and I were sitting out in the bullpen. I said, hey, he's going to hit Tino, and this is after Bernie hit the home run. And Graham says, if he does, we're charging. So we didn't even know if the dugout's emptied. Graham and I ran down the ramp, opened the outfield wall by ourselves, and just started running. By that time, everybody was out there.
So if that was in a court of law, you would have been charged with premeditated charging Armando Benitez. All right. I never knew that part of the story. So another.
But we're not admitting to that. We're not admitting to that.
So another layer is exposed here. So now let's go back to last night. Now, we heard Clay Holmes after the game, and it seemed like from all the post-game reaction from both sides, it seemed cooler heads prevailed. No one thought that Clay Holmes was throwing at Kjerstad there, but let me ask you this. The conditions got really bad in that ninth inning when Holmes was out there, and he talked about that. Not only his hand gripping the ball, but his spikes as well. The mound gets wet. You've been in those situations. How tough is that on a pitcher?
Well, in some ways, the wet ball, I mean, it gives you a better grip. I used to like it when it drizzled a little bit because it mixed up the mud that they put on the baseball, and you got a better grip on it. So sometimes it gives you better grip. Sometimes if it rains too hard and the rain gets in your glove and in the ball, then obviously it slips a little bit on the mound because that clay gets a little slippery. Obviously, he was not trying to hit Kjerstad there. You're not going to hit somebody in the head. You're not going to headhunt. Plus, it's a safe situation. You didn't want anything offensively to start with the Orioles. I can understand how they were upset. I can understand how their manager was upset. Heck, they've been hit 10 times, and the Orioles have only hit the Yankees 3 times. And anytime you get hit in the head, you start saying something. And as a manager, you want to protect your players. And I think that started when he said something to Holmes. I think Holmes took a little offense to it, started coming closer to home plate, and then that's when things started getting a little out of hand, like you can see there. A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. Who knows what's going to happen in these next couple days?
Yeah, Clay actually said he was going towards Kjerstad, and he was trying to tell him that it wasn't intentional. He didn't mean to do it, and that's when Hyde kind of turned around and started barking at both Austin Wells and Clay Holmes, and I think the Yankees dugout took offense to that. So as Aaron Boone said, as Brandon Hyde said, it's baseball. Garrett Cole said it as well. And let's talk about a little baseball and Garrett Cole from last night. You were all over his outing, Nelly. You saw that he didn't have that fastball command early on, but he turned to his knuckle curve and his cutter and his secondary stuff. How does going to your secondary stuff work when you don't have that fastball at first, and how do you get it back? How does that all come to fruition?
Well, that start was much needed, wasn't it? I mean, after the 3 starts that the Yankees had in Tampa Bay, and none of the 3 gave them 5 innings. And the bullpen was overworked. You needed a big start from your ace. When you don't have your fastball command, and that's been the case his first 4 starts, and the first couple innings he didn't have it again. The breaking ball will help you stay back over the rubber because you have to get on top of that pitch. You can't drift out to the plate because if you do, it's either going to hang or it's going to be a ball again. So that breaking ball, whether it's a knuckle curve or the slider, will help you stay back. And then it kind of kicks in the mechanics, and it helps you stay back on the fastball as well. And after that second inning, he started finding his location a lot better with that 4-seam fastball. I still think maybe he's throwing on too many cutters. I think that has to do with arm strength and maybe a little bit more of the feel or the lack of feel with the slider and the curveball. But it was a much-needed start. Those last 4 innings were outstanding. It was nice to see him throw 106 pitches as well in those 6 innings.
Now, let's go to today's starter, Luis Gil, Nelly. His last start against the Orioles is what set in motion 3 straight starts, which led to an ERA of almost 15, but he had a course correction in his last outing. What are you looking forward to seeing Gil against the Orioles today? What does he need to do?
Well, I'm looking for mechanics, and I look for mechanics with all these pitchers. Anything that goes wrong at the plate, well, it starts on the rubber. So obviously when, Cole last night, him not being able to command his fastball starts on the rubber. Something went on, whether it's a little hesitation that he usually has. You look at Rodon, Cortez, so on, so on. If something is wrong, then it always starts at rubber. With Gil in those previous 3 starts, everything mechanically, it goes wrong, and he has a hard time getting the ball down. His last start against Boston, now he has a little tendency, he has a little dip of the back shoulder. Whenever you see a pitcher dip his back shoulder, you really have to work hard to get on top of the baseball, whether you get on top of the 4-seamer or get on top of that changeup. When he has the slight dip, that's what he had against Boston, you're not going to notice it as well, and he has an easier time getting on top of that pitch. And that's why you saw a lot of 4-seamers, a lot of changeups down in the zone. And if he did elevate the fastball, it was on purpose. It wasn't by accident because of his mechanics were off. So hopefully he can go out and repeat that today against the Orioles.
All right, we'll see if he can do that. We'll keep our eye out on everything you just said there. One last thing for you, Nelly, before we let you go, and we're looking forward to the call with Michael today as well in Game 2 of this 3-game set. It's the last series before the All-Star break. They haven't won a series since June 10th through June 13th in Kansas City. How important is it to get a series win here today against Baltimore?
No, it's huge because then all of a sudden if you lose today, you fall back to 2 games again. And then the worst case scenario or best case scenario is you go into the break 1 game back. That's if you win tomorrow. Grayson Rodriguez is an outstanding pitcher. He's had an outstanding year. He's going to be really tough today against the Yankees, and you hope that Gil does the same. But you got to go out with an edge. I mean, this team is basically, the Orioles has had the Yankees number. Basically, the East has had the Yankees number. They've done well against the Central, Interleague, and also the West. You got to go out with a little edge, and you got to want this series. This will be the first time they can win a series and also win back-to-back games going all the way back to Kansas City. So it's very important. You win today, hey, you're tied, and then maybe you go into the break. You go into Monday a game up.
Nelly, I could listen to you talk about pitching in baseball forever. I'm going to listen to you during the game. We're out of time here, unfortunately. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it, as always.
All right, Shirney, thanks.
Time for another break on Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. Coming up, we'll check some early scores and storylines from Saturday's other Major League action. Stick around right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside.
Takes it.
Gatorade, is it in you?
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
We last spoke.
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Make this a summer to share in the 3-row Kia Sorento, the tech-forward Sportage, the available all-wheel drive Seltos, or the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus Telluride, each one recommended by Consumer Reports. This summer, visit your local Kia dealer. Lease the new 2024 Sorento LX for $289 a month.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Adventure big in a Ford Bronco. Bring it all with the capability of Ford F-150 and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Or go hands-free on the highway with Ford Blue Cruise. Available on select vehicles, including Explorer. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event. So make it yours. Make it now at your Ford dealer today.
The rain stayed away long enough for the Yankees to secure the win last night in Baltimore. For Game 2 today, it'll be hot, humid, and partly cloudy in the Inner Harbor. Temperature of 90 degrees with the heat index at a blistering Aaron Judge, 99. Some news and notes. Xander Bogaerts went 2 for 4 last night in his return to the Padres after missing 47 games with a broken shoulder. Also, we just talked about the Heat. How about the Angels' Ben Joyce firing the fastest pitch of the year last night? 104.5-mile-an-hour fastball. Look out! Where are you, Kenny Singleton? And Rocky starter German Marquez starts against the Mets tomorrow. He has not pitched since last April after needing Tommy John surgery. There's a full slate of Major League games on tap for the final Saturday before the break. But at 4 o'clock, some minor leaguers kick off all-star festivities in Texas with the annual Futures game. Top prospects for the Yankees, Spencer Jones, is starting in right field and batting 5th for the American League squad, while Double-A lefty Brock Selvage is available to pitch. But first, let's stay in the big league, shall we? Dodgers, Tigers. Top 5, Shohei Ohtani. You got a hold of that one. Big hitter, the Llama, long. His 29th of the season, Dodgers now lead 3-2. Later in the inning, 2 on, Gavin Lux stings the grounder to right to score both runs for a 2-run single. Dodgers lead 5-2. Top of the 7th, runner on first. It'll be Kike Hernandez. That's a bomb. 2-run shot, his 5th of the season. Dodgers extend their lead to 8-4. L.A. currently leading the Tigers. That was also career home run number 200 for Ohtani. As Jeff Quagliata likes to say, round number alert. And he's now within 4 of Aaron Judge for the Major League lead this season. Add in his triple, and he has 56 extra base hits. That's 1 shy of Judge for the top spot. Pirates, White Sox, top of the 1st. Andrew McCutchen gets things going early for Pittsburgh when he ropes a double off the base of the left field wall. McCutchen motoring in and slides into second safely. 2 batters later, runners on the corners. O'Neal Cruz grounds into a force out, allowing McCutchen to score from third. Pirates take a 1-0 lead. They have won 4 of 5, and they're trying to hang on for another win that would move them to within 1 game of 500. They haven't been that close since April 28th, when they were 14-15. Elsewhere, the Phillies just swept the Dodgers, but then lost to the A's last night. They try to even the series today. The Royals look to win their 5th in a row and have all-star Seth Lugo on the mound to start in Boston. And the Guardians have lost 8 of their last 10 on the road. They're at the Trop to take on the Rays. One last break on Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. We'll wrap things up next as we get ready for the second game of the series between the Yanks and O's in Baltimore. Keep it here on Yes and the Yes app.
Whoever said patience is a virtue never sat in these K5 GT sports seats. The powerful new Kia K5 GT is here. Lease a new 2025 K5 LXS for $279 a month.
It's summertime in New York State. enjoy everything that makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
When your health is on the line, it matters that Greenwich Hospital has over 1,000 physicians, plus access to hundreds of specialty programs affiliated with Yale School of Medicine. It matters that we offer groundbreaking cancer treatment options right here through Smilo Cancer Hospital and Yale Cancer Center, and that we provide state-of-the-art care for strokes and heart issues. Because having access to the very best is what matters most. Greenwich Hospital, with the greatest of care.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Adventure big in a Ford Bronco. Bring it all with the capability of Ford F-150 and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Or go hands-free on the highway with Ford Blue Cruise. Available on select vehicles, including Explorer. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event. So make it yours. Make it now at your Ford dealer today.
You've hopefully seen Homegrown, the television series here on Yes. Now go deeper into the Yankees minor leagues with Conversations, a homegrown podcast as Connor Foley sits down with prospects and coaches in the farm system. It's available now on Apple Podcasts.
So here is Aaron Judge. See ya! Juan Soto is just a flat-out superstar. A monster two-run home run. He crushed that. Here's Clay Holmes. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. He got him.
As one of the best teams in baseball, the Yankees will be well represented at the All-Star Game in Texas on Tuesday. Their dynamic duo of sluggers figures to be featured prominently in the American League starting lineup, and their closer will be ready to go later in the game if needed. Aaron Judge is an All-Star for the sixth time in his career. He leads the majors with 33 homers and 84 ribbies. Juan Soto is an All-Star for the fourth time, but this is his first start at the All-Star Game. His .432 on-base percentage is the best in baseball, and Clay Holmes is an All-Star for the second time. His 21 saves are third most in the American League. After today, that trio wraps up the first half with an early Sunday game that begins at 11:30 a.m. on Roku. Come over to Yes and the Yes app for the post-game show. Then after the break, it's another AL East matchup as the Rays come to town Friday for a 4-game wraparound series in the Bronx. That's going to do it for this edition of Yankees Batting Practice Today, presented by Audi. We'll be back with another one Friday for the first game out of the All-Star break. Stick around, because coming up next, Jack Curry joins me for the pregame show. And I'm a little upset at you, Jack, because, you know, you could have come and visit me.
Come on over.
I was doing the batting practice show, but, you know, just no love shown for your co-host on the pregame show.
Only one of us is playing a doubleheader today.
And that would be me.
Ernie Banks.
Well, hey, it's a beautiful day. Let's play two.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, but mostly times were just okay. And you know who said that? Susan B. Anthony.
Charles Dickens.
Susie.
We're not teachers. We're connectivity experts. If millions of communities rely on us for fiber, internet, and mobile, you can too. Optimum, where local is big time.
Hi, I'm Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. Some people say, why should I take Prevagen? I don't have a problem with my memory. Memory loss is not something that occurs overnight. I started noticing subtle lapses in memory. I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. It's helped my memory. It's helped my cognitive qualities. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell.
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents on planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on, you can get that.
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
every decision you make will be as good as getting a Volkswagen at the Savvy VW Summer Sales Event. 2024 Volkswagen models cost less to maintain than Honda.
Get 0.9% APR financing or a $3,500 customer bonus on the new 2024 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
Garrett Cole brought the heat early in yesterday's game, looking more and more like his Cy Young self in his 5th start of the season. Aaron Judge delivered the big blow with his latest homer against the Orioles. And then some unplanned fireworks late in the game cleared the benches and turned up the temperature in a series that was already firmly in the spotlight heading into the All-Star break. It's time for round 2. On a Saturday afternoon as the New York Yankees square off against the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards in Maryland. And hello, everyone. Welcome inside our Yes Network studios to the FanDuel Yankees pregame show alongside Jack Curry. I am Chris Sheeran. We are looking for a stellar effort out of Garrett Cole yesterday. We got that. He looked to be in Cy Young form, especially late in the game. And now we spin it to Luis Gil today.
A spirited win for the Yankees last night that was spearheaded by Cole. He's the Yankees ace. We all know that. Well, their ace who filled in for Cole when he was injured is Luis Gil. And the Yankees would love to see a duplicate performance from him today as he goes to the rubber to pitch against the Orioles. Chris, you already talked about it. We know there's going to be some bad blood between these two teams. It has existed before what happened last night. It's going to exist today and tomorrow whenever these teams face each other. For Gil, it's about ignoring all of that and trying to stop the Orioles. The Orioles have a very good young pitcher in their own right in Grayson Rodriguez pitching. I spoke to an umpiring source who said that no pregame warnings have been issued for this game. The same umpiring crew covers last night's game. If they thought there was anything intentional or retaliatory, they could have ejected a pitcher last night, that being Holmes. That never happened, so Gil and Rodriguez won't have anything like that hanging over them.
All right, Jack. Everyone said the right things in the clubhouse after the game. Meredith Marakovitz was all over it last night for the Yankees, and she joins us now for the Ford Clubhouse Report. Tensions escalated in that 9th inning after Clay Holmes hit Kjerstad, Meredith. But everyone, as I just said, seemed to say the right thing, and hopefully cooler heads prevail today.
Look, Aaron Boone and Brandon Hyde both tried to defuse the situation last night. Clearly, emotions were high in that 9th inning, but when they were able to take a breath and think about it, Aaron Boone said after the game, this team has too much to play for right now to get caught up in that kind of thing. And when you look at this season series, a lot of batters have been hit. The Yankees have hit 10 Orioles so far this season. The Orioles, on the other hand, they have hit 3 Yankees. And Brandon Hyde kind of said the same thing. There is a lot going on and a lot at stake. They want to move past this particular incident. Well, when they do that, it's going to be Luis Gil on the mound, as you mentioned, Jack. And last time out, tough luck loss for him, but he looked much, much better. 6 2/3 innings, allowed just 1 run on 4 hits. He did not walk a batter and struck out 9 in the process. I asked Aaron Boone what had him most encouraged when he looked at Gil's last outing.
His last outing. I mean, that was much in line with what we saw the first couple months of the season. I think he found his delivery right away. He was in sync right away. I think that first inning he did a really good job of establishing his fastball, getting in the zone with it, having the right profile with it. It played, you know, how it does when it's going well. You know, his slider was his best secondary pitch that night, which isn't, you know, even when he was going well that first 2 months, it was fastball changeup. Slider was kind of that distant third pitch. The sliders, you know, at least in practice and in that last game, was a much improved pitch for him. But it all comes down to delivery, establishing his fastball, getting to good places with it, and then he can work off of that with whatever secondary.
Let's say umpires don't issue any warnings today. When people have been hit on both sides, does that make a pitcher, especially a younger pitcher like Gil, you think at all hesitant to try to throw inside?
I don't think so. You can't get caught up in that. And I think Luis, you know, does a really good job of just, like, you know, getting prepared for his start today, having the game plan and going out there and trying to execute that. And you can't get caught up in that, and I don't think he will.
And Luis Gil is tied for 9th in the American League in hitting, batsmen 6 so far this season. He can be wild at times, but as I mentioned last time out, that was not the case. He did not walk a batter. He did not hit a batter. As far as the Yankees lineup today is concerned, Alex Verdugo moves back to the leadoff spot. Juan Soto is going to DH. Therefore, Aaron Judge is moving out to right field. Trent Grisham is in center field, and it's going to be Austin Wells catching Luis Gil with the injury to Jose Trevino. I'll have more on that in just a little bit. But first, let's get back to Alex Verdugo. It's been a rough stretch for him. 0 for 4 last night, although he did drive a ball to left center field that got caught. And then if you look at his last 15 games, just 2 for 19. He's hitting 163 over his last 23 games. I asked Aaron Boone how he's been handling this stretch and if he sees any signs of Verdugo coming out of it.
He's grinding, but I do feel like he's doing a good job of competing right now and kind of grinding through that. And I know that he has that faith and confidence that as a hitter that he's going to get it rolling. We've seen some stretches even over the last couple of weeks where I feel like he has started to get it rolling. Then he has a game where, he doesn't get much production, but I do feel like that's close to being there, and I feel like from a frame of mind, he's in an okay place. I think he's grinding and pissed and all those things, but I also feel like he's really confident that he'll get it going.
Anything about his at-bats? You said you feel like he's kind of close. Just that's telling you, what is it about those at-bats that's telling you that perhaps he could get there soon? Because I think he's had games where, he has gotten some hits or squared 3 balls up or whatever it may be, and with Doogie, just the kind of hitter he is, such a good bat-to-ball guy that's kind of what tells me. We're talking about a guy in the prime of his career that has real bat-to-ball skills, and that should show itself over time. And Verdugo again in the leadoff spot this evening. It's going to be DJ LeMahieu rounding out the order. It's also his birthday today, so happy birthday to DJ LeMahieu. Time now for the injury report brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. We will go back to last night. Jose Trevino was in the midst of a very nice game offensively. 2 doubles for him, but this is here late in the game. Trevino trying to score an extra run, give the Yankees a little bit of a cushion. You see him grimacing there as he was coming around third. He gets up from sliding into home, and clearly he had pulled something. They put him on the IL today with a left quad strain. Carlos Narvaez has been called up from AAA, and Aaron Boone said they don't know the severity of that injury yet for Trevino. They are hoping that it's not too long. Wells probably going to get some more reps while Trevino is out. They do have an option in Narvaez. Boone saying they really like the way he is defensively behind a plate, but also the way he calls games. And they have seen him a lot this spring training. This is the second time we've seen him up here this year, and he walked into the Yankees clubhouse today, all smiles out of him to be back with the big league club. And let's not forget, Ben Rice is on this roster. He can also catch, but Aaron Boone saying he's been good at first base. We like him there. They don't have any intention of using Ben Rice as a catcher right now, Chris.
Meredith, thank you very much. Great stuff today. An excellent job again last night. We appreciate everything you did after that melee between the Yankees and Orioles. We'll see it throughout the game and on the post-game show as well. We take a look at the Yankees lineup brought to you by Toyota right now in a Camden Yard since 2017 in 51 games. Look at the numbers. Aaron Judge is putting up .318, 23 homers, 45 ribbies, and an OPS over 1,200. He's batting third and will be in right field for the Yankees. Checking out the Orioles lineup, also brought to you by Toyota. Gunnar Henderson leading off, hitting .288 on the season, but his last 41 games at .321, 10 homers, 24 ribbies, and an on-base percentage just under .400. His next home run will be his 28th on the year, and that will match his total from last season. Time for our first break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame show. Coming up, it's a matchup of 2 hard-throwing righties on the mound. We break down what to expect from Luis Gil and Grayson Rodriguez, so keep it locked in right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
The Yankees pregame show on
Yes is presented by FanDuel. Knock it out of the park every day with FanDuel. Right now, all customers get a bonus or boost every single day, all summer long.
Want to keep your hairline where it is? Through Hims.com, you can explore a range of options that work best for you, so you can grow visibly thicker and fuller hair in just 3 to 6 months. Keep it looking strong for years to come with doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride, minoxidil, and a blend of supplements that support healthy hair. 3 in 4 Hims customers say they wish they started using hair treatment earlier. Get ahead now to keep the hair you love. Get started today at Hims.com.
Let's explore your future with Udemy. You can learn how to program and build websites, study design and create logos, improve your presentation skills, and sell your ideas. With Udemy, you can learn practical skills from thousands of online courses taught by real-world experts. Explore your future. Udemy.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. Turn tables fast with Square Register at the counter or Square Terminal in your hand. Get a POS that connects to a KDS to handle orders ASAP. Easily take orders in person or online. And with Square Banking, get a loan quickly for everything from small repairs to the biggest dreams. Gain time and peace of mind with restaurant tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
Reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one.
Yes to in-game live stats. And earn rewards and win prizes. Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today.
It's time for the pregame odds segment presented by FanDuel. The Yankees have a chance to win their first series in a month, but they're underdogs against the host Orioles today at Camden Yards. The over-under is 8.5. For some player props, let's go with who's hitting a home run. For the Yankees, Aaron Judge clubbed his 41st career homer against the Orioles yesterday. He's plus 250 to do it again today. Juan Soto is plus 360. For the Orioles, Anthony Santander is plus 400, and Gunnar Henderson is plus 420. Knock it out of the park every day with FanDuel. Right now, all customers get a bonus or a boost every single day, all summer long.
Time now for the Yale-New Haven Health key matchup, and that entails both hard-throwing righties today. Luis Gil for the Yankees, Jack, and Grayson Rodriguez for the Orioles.
You see the numbers that both of them have put up, Chris. But when you talk about these two pitchers, you also have to talk about velocity. Both have four-seam fastballs that average over 96 miles an hour. We're going to be treated to two young flamethrowers today.
And let's take a look now at StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, and it's the arsenal for the O's hard-throwing right-hander. And Jack, let's take a look and see what he has here this season.
Yeah, he's going to throw his four-seamer about half the time. He's really a four-pitch pitcher, doesn't throw the sinker much, has the two breaking pitches in the curveball and the slider. The changeup is obviously an elite pitch. But, Chris, you go back to when he faced the Yankees at the end of April. He got the win in that game, pitched into the sixth inning. But the Yankees had a ton of traffic on the bases and just never were able to generate much offense against him. They were 2 for 14 with runners on base. So I think their approach today is when you get some traffic on the bases against Rodriguez, you have to make sure that you make them pay.
All right, before they get that traffic on the base pass, though, how do you go about attacking a guy like him?
Well, I think we just showed the mix, and you know that you're going to get a lot of heat, and you know that when he is in a position to get a swing and a miss or some weak contact, the first pitch you're probably likely to see, if you're a right-handed batter, you're probably going to see a changeup. So I think the Yankees have to be aware of that. He's got the two good breaking pitches. But like any game plan against any pitcher, you get something going, you got to do some damage. We saw the Yankees a couple of nights ago in Tampa Bay. Second and third, first inning, nobody out, and then allowing the pitcher to get through that jam. you got to be able to do some damage early.
I know this probably keeps pitchers up, whether it's starters or relievers, but the night before they face the Yankees, how does Rodriguez go about attacking Aaron Judge?
Yeah, I think Rodriguez will attack early in the game because he's got the stuff to be able to get Aaron Judge out. But if you go back to last night, Chris, once Judge hit that home run, now he walked, then he hit the home run, then he had 3 more walks. So on the night, he saw 20 pitches, 16 of them were balls. In the 4 walks, he never came around to score. So even though the Orioles lost, they would probably say that was a strategy that worked for them. It's up to the Yankees if the Orioles go down that road where they're not giving Judge anything to hit. It's the other players who follow him in the lineup, be it Rice or Torres, whoever is behind him, to make sure that they are able to produce after that.
Yeah, we heard Jeff Nelson say that in the broadcast yesterday. Other guys are going to have to start making the opposition pay. And we also heard him say on the batting practice show about Luis Gil in his last outing against the Red Sox. It was a course-correcting start for him after those 3 bad starts that he had that started with an outing against the Orioles. But he said he used his slider and used it effectively in that game.
Yeah, there was a big difference in the repertoire for him, and you're seeing it right there. The Red Sox went 1 for 10 with 5 strikeouts against the slider. Normally, the changeup is his second pitch after the fastball, but he did a really good job, as you said, of adjusting and going with another pitch. And Chris, that pitch not only had movement, it had great location. He had a ton of confidence in it. You see that he threw it more than a third of the time. That was a season high. That pitch has to be a factor for him again today.
All right, his last outing against the Orioles, as I alluded to earlier, Jack, it led to 3 straight starts where his ERA was nearly 15. But he had such a great run early in the season until that point that he could flip the script once again.
He got knocked out in the 2nd inning of that game in June. You see the 8 hits, and Chris, what stood out for me on that day was how the Orioles attacked early in counts and attacked his fastball. 5 of the 8 hits were on fastballs. 4 of the 8 hits happened on either the first or second pitch of the at-bat. So here's my prediction today. You're not going to see Luis Gil in the 1st inning come out and throw 15 straight 4-seam fastballs. He's going to mix it up right away. He's going to let the Orioles know that he has other options that he could go to. We saw Garrett Cole do that last night. He started off a lot of batters with a knuckle curve and ended up throwing 21 knuckle curves. 19 were strikes. So that fastball is elite for Gil, but if you want to make it especially elite, you have to let the hitters know that you have other options to go to. Otherwise, they'll sit there, they'll wait for number 1, and they'll have the chance to do some damage.
And good news behind Gil today, because of the efficiency of the bullpen yesterday, they're pretty much set up today, too.
I think they are. I see Luke Weaver as a pitcher for them today. He only threw 6 pitches yesterday. Would they use Tommy Kahnle 4 times in 5 days? If it's a winnable game, I would. And I absolutely believe that Clay Holmes, coming off a 20-pitch outing yesterday, you get into a safe situation, he's your guy.
Yeah, you need to win the series. You need to put your best guys out there. Time for another break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame coming up. We've got more on this series between the Yankees and the Orioles. That might as well be an all-star game preview. 3 all-stars for the Bombers, 5 for the O's. We'll talk about some of them next, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked in right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Citizens. Make sense of your money. Visit citizensbank.com/made-ready to learn more.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years. When I have customers come in and ask for something for memory, I recommend Prevagen. Number 1, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good for me. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
I got it.
The airport is in 4 miles.
Interesting choice.
You're going on 5th?
Discover performance in rare form.
You got it. But she's delayed.
Get offers on select F-Sport models at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get special offers on select Lexus RX models.
The Yankees Pregame Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
That's me in the spotlight. My team in the spotlight. Spotlight on, it's a lot like home. Top light and got light that's all night long. Sundown to daytime, it's all my zone. I paid the cost, never lost my throne. When the spotlight's mine, I am on my grind. Victory is all that's ever on my mind. The red line, I will never stop like sign. It's lonely at the top, but I pride my shine in the spotlight.
Top 2 teams in the AL East sporting 8 All-Stars between them. As we mentioned before the break, 5 Orioles, 3 Yankees going to the All-Star festivities in Texas. Welcome back here on the FanDuel Sportsbook Pregame Show. Alongside Jack Curry, I'm Chris Sheeran. And Jeff Nelson and I talked about this in the BP show. How big is a series win here before the All-Star break?
Even after last night's win, the Yankees have lost 18 of their last 26 games. That's almost a month of subpar, miserable baseball. They win tonight, Chris. They're tied for first place. They happen to win the next 2. They head away to the All-Star break saying they're a first-place team. So it just shows you how quickly things can turn around in baseball. The Orioles have had their own struggles. So, yes, this is a really important game for the Yankees tonight. If Heel can give them a solid effort and if their offense can get to Rodriguez, they'll be feeling really good about themselves heading into Sunday.
All right, Jack, the Yankees and Orioles avoided most of the rain yesterday, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one today. Let's get a check of the weather from News 12.
I'm News 12 meteorologist Alex Calamia with your game day forecast, and it is going to be a very, very hot one. Not expecting a lot of cloud cover, but with that humidity, there could be a spotty pop-up storm. Feels like almost 100 degrees for that first inning and the 7th inning stretch. Not much relief for the ride home either. So we're going with unbearable for a feels like. Tell us how you feel and follow us on News 12.
All season long here on Yes, we want to invite you viewers to show us the different ways you support the Bronx Bombers. Use the QR code on the screen with the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post pictures to social media that reflect your love for the Yankees. We might spotlight you in a future game. Pinstripe Pride is brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. One last break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame still ahead. Jack gives us his key to the game as we move closer to first pitch between the Bombers and Birds in Baltimore. Keep it here on Yes and the Yes app. You lock it up.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. Turn tables fast with Square Register at the counter or Square Terminal in your hand. Get a POS that connects to a KDS to handle orders ASAP. Easily take orders in person or online. And with Square Banking, get a loan quickly for everything from small repairs to the biggest dreams. Gain time and peace of mind with restaurant tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest. Never read a line of poetry, I'm not a poet, but I sit up in the back of my buttons cause I'm
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
This summer is the perfect time to get away with a great deal on your favorite Hyundai models. All backed by America's best warranty, plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to your journey. Hurry in to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now. Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe for only $309 a month. Hurry in to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing. Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each. Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology. Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
The Yankees Pregame Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com. We should mention that Heston Kjerstad was in the lineup for the Orioles originally, but he was a late scratch today. And, Jack, now we get to your key to the game.
Well, Chris, I've used this key a lot, and I think it's appropriate today. I think the key for the Yankees is to punch first. And no, I do not mean fisticuffs. They need to focus on baseball, but it's important to score first. When the Yankees have scored first this year, they're 37-12. Think about how many games Garrett Cole has started in his career. Last night in his post-game comments, he talked about the importance of the Yankees scoring those 2 runs first, how it allowed him to relax, it allows the hitters to relax. The Yankees want to make sure that Rodriguez doesn't relax.
All right, Jack, we'll see if that happens. That's going to do it for us here on the FanDuel Pregame Show. Coming up next, Michael Kay, Jeff Nelson, and Meredith Morakovitz have the call from the Inner Harbor. It's the second of 3 between the Yankees and the Orioles, and it's straight ahead right here on Yes.
Big season. More reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one.
Yes to in-game live stats.